I already have it for Stevens. Sigma Stevens is out of town. Number 18, Austin, is going to PPI yesterday.
Did you enter the order?
Yes. You haven't signed it yet.
I haven't signed it, but
And then you just missed 26. Kiata for number 27, he is in trial on the 240.
okay.
And then Zaid for number 28, he's in trial in Harris County.
Okay.
It's all I got.
All right, let's start. It's 2:30. Lanez. Costa Diner, Ronaldo Lanez.
That's the case that we're talking about Tennessee. Tennessee will not accept the probation. He's gonna move his family back down here. He's just asking for about 30 days. He'll have his family down here, come in, we'll take the plea and move on.
Ms. Pizzurro. Can you hear?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I was able to hear just a little bit, not the whole thing. I apologize.
We're on the record in 24 CCR 240917, State of Texas versus Acosta Diner, Ronaldo Lanez. Why don't you bring your client up with you? Ms. Pizzurro, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will truly and accurately translate from English to Spanish, from Spanish to English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor. For the record, my name is Pamela Pizzurro, license number LCI 2431.
Okay. Is that microphone on?
Yes, sir. I believe so.
Okay. Why don't you repeat what you just said, Mr. Gonzalez?
To modify the terms and conditions of probation as were originally offered to from 18 months to 12 months deferred adjudication. No fine to a fine of $500, giving my client 30 days to move his family down here, and then after that we can take a plea.
Su señoría, originalmente o inicialmente se había ofrecido se había hecho una oferta de libertad condicional, se redujo de 18 meses a 12 meses con una multa de $500. Mi cliente está pidiendo 30 días para ayudar a mudar a su familia aquí y luego de eso va a aceptar esta oferta declaratoria de culpabilidad.
Do you just want to plea at the pretrial conference? Do you just want to take a plea at the pretrial conference? That's on July 10th.
Si es que quiere simplemente tomar este acuerdo declaratorio de culpabilidad durante la conferencia previa al juicio, que será el 10 de julio.
That'd be fine.
All right, thank you. Yes, you are.
Yes, sir.
Next. We'll come back.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Buenas tardes, juez.
Mr. Padilla, is your client with you?
She is not, Your Honor. We have not, well, a little backstory. So I was court appointed about a week and a half ago. We reached out several times. We weren't able to get a hold of her. You know, I haven't been able to get a hold of her. I was hoping maybe she would appear in person. I'm not sure if that happened.
Nearest Perez. Nearest Perez. Nope. All right, motion. Bailiff.
No answer at 2:34.
A new bond is set at $8,000. All prior bond conditions shall remain in place. Mr. Padilla, if you're able to get in contact with your client, maybe you can file a motion to reinstate or something along those lines.
Yes, Your Honor. I appreciate it. I will definitely file that once I get a hold of her.
All right, very good. You're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Wasserstein, is your client with you?
No, he's not, Your Honor. He's with my legal assistant. He should be on though.
Is it under a different name than Juan Ramirez?
I'm not sure, Judge. If you'll give me a minute, I can call her and find out what's going on.
Okay, we'll come back to you and see if you cannot get your client on.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate the opportunity.
Let's go to Spears. Chelsea Spears? Spears. Come back. Whitfield. Ms. Whitfield, you need to turn your camera on, please. We're on the record in 26R 217-275, State of Texas versus Sadie Whitfield. Mr. Sims, give the court an update.
Your Honor, I've been brought up to speed on kind of where the case stands. However, I've been attempting to get an offer on this case to kind of start a conversation as to whether we are going to be able to resolve it or have to set it for a hearing. So that's kind of where we're at.
Well, it's set for a hearing currently for June 6th for an MRP hearing. So hopefully we can get this figured out quickly. Do you not have an offer from the state?
Are you asking me, Judge?
Yes, I'm asking you.
I do not, Judge.
State.
Yes, Your Honor. I was unaware that this was on the status docket for today, but I did get Mr. Sims' email. The state will be able to convey an offer by today at best, with regards to both the MRP and with regards to MRP.
You'll have an offer today.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you back in court on June 6th.
See you then, Judge. Thank you.
Take care. Smallwood. We're on the record, 24 CCR 241-821, State of Texas versus O'Shea, Bernice Smallwood. Mr. Marjanian, why don't you give the court an update?
Yes, Judge. I recently, at the last setting, received some new discovery from the state. Discovery, I believe, now is complete. We're conducting our investigation, and we will likely be headed toward trial.
Okay, well, your trial date is on October 21st. You've got one more status conference on July 22nd before your pretrial.
Sounds great.
All right, you're free to go. Thank you for the update.
Thank you, Judge.
Let's go back to Ramirez. Go to that one after this. Is Mr. Juan Ramirez in the waiting room? Mr. Wasserstein, your client, Mr. Juan Ramirez, is still not in the waiting room.
They just sent me a picture that I think they just hit launch Zoom meeting. I think they got off of that screen, so I hope they appear right now, Judge.
Sarah. Nothing. Wasserstein, I'm going to come right back to you. We're going to go to the next case, and hopefully your client is here when we come right back.
Thank you, Judge.
Conde. Counselor, will you turn your camera on, please?
Yes, Judge. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Would you turn your camera on, please?
Still no camera.
Counselor, I need you to turn your camera on, please.
Yes, Judge. I'm trying to find that icon.
While you're looking for the button that's a picture of a camera, where's your client?
Judge, my client's trying to connect.
Okay. Mr. Valencia, we're going to come right back to you. Hopefully you can
Yes,
get the
Judge.
camera situation figured out. Sarah,
Yes, Judge.
has Ramirez popped in? All right, let's go to Ramirez. Mr. Ramirez, you need to turn your camera on, please.
Señor Ramírez, necesita encender su cámara, por favor.
Mr. Ramirez, you have to turn your camera on, please.
Señor Ramírez, debe encender su cámara, por favor.
Mr. Ramirez, failure to turn your camera on will be taken at, there we go. We're on the record in 24 CCR 240053, State of Texas versus Juan Manuel Ramirez. Counselor, why don't you give us an update on this case, but let's go slowly and pause for interpretation.
Estamos en actas en la causa número 24 CCR 240053, en la causa de Juan Manuel Ramírez. Abogado, ¿por qué no nos da una actualización sobre este caso?
Yes, Judge, Brent Wasserstein, defense counsel for Juan Ramirez. We received an offer from the prosecutor. Prosecutor and I have been negotiating the case. I did receive new discovery this morning. Right now, we have not been able to work the case out. I'm hoping we can by the next setting, Judge.
Sí, juez, soy el abogado de la defensa del señor Juan Ramírez. En este momento, la fiscalía ya nos ha ofrecido una oferta para negociar el caso y yo he recibido esta mañana nuevos documentos acerca del caso, pero todavía no hemos podido resolver el caso. Estamos esperando que podamos llegar a una resolución antes de la próxima fecha, juez.
Okay, thank you for the update, Mr. Westerstein. Your next court setting is July 8th.
Muy bien, gracias por la actualización, señor Wasserstein. La próxima fecha es el 8 de julio.
Thank you for the opportunity, Judge.
Gracias por la oportunidad, juez.
You're free to go. Thank you.
Ya se puede retirar, gracias.
Right, Conde Chavaria, one more time. There. Mr. Valencia, your client is not in the waiting room. Mr. Valencia?
Yes, Judge.
Your client is not in the waiting room.
Yes, Your Honor, she's trying to connect.
Counselor, it's 2:47. We're now 17 minutes past the start time. I have an interpreter who needs to get to another docket who's been waiting to take care of this case. Where's your client?
Your Honor, my client is at her home. She's trying to connect.
Sarah, is she on?
At this time, state would move for bond forfeiture, Your Honor.
Bailiff?
If I may, Judge,
Okay.
can I ask for a little time so that she can connect? We really don't need the interpreter, Your Honor.
Why do we not need the interpreter?
Ms. Conde speaks English and she's a United States citizen.
Then why was an interpreter requested from the get-go?
I don't know, Your Honor. I guess one was provided when she was in jail.
Thank you. All right. Looks like you requested the interpreter this time. I showed her the medical evaluation that was done, that she's bilingual. So you're telling this court, counselor, that she is not needed, the interpreter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Pizzurro, you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
I'm going to go to one more case and I'll come back to yours. Mr. Valencia, if your client's not here by the next, when I come right back to you, I will proceed on that bond forfeiture.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Let's go to Woods. Captillo, is your client with you?
No, she was supposed to be logging in via Zoom, Judge.
She's joining. 1 second. I think your client's having connection issues. Is it just clocking, showing joining? Yeah. Mr. Captillo, we're going to come right back to you. Hopefully we can get your client to join us and the connection issues resolved shortly.
Yes, sir.
Now let's move on to FAM. Ms. Aguirre, are you filling in for Mr. Shellis?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Pham?
Mr. Pham, I think you're muted.
That's okay. He can remain muted. We're on the record in 24 CCR 241519, State of Texas versus Tuan Pham. Ms. Aguirre, why don't you give the court an update?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. So yesterday, the state produced some additional discovery, including a physical DVT that needs to be picked up in the courthouse, which we will do later this week. And they also made an offer for 12 months deferred, which our client has rejected. And, we are set for trial on October 21st.
All right, let me see here. I think your next court setting is going to be on July 22nd at 2:30. It's another status conference.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. July 2nd,
22nd.
July 22nd.
You're free to go, Mr. Pham.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. At what time, you know?
2:30. I'll give you a call.
Okay.
Thank
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
Jasmine Carr.
Your Honor, that case was dismissed. I don't recall the date that it was, but I believe it might have been last week or the week before.
Okay. Lopez. Lopez, if you would turn your camera on, please. Mr. Torres, you are parked, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Lopez, I need you to turn your camera on, please. We're on the record in 24 CCR 239-400, State of Texas versus Jonathan Lee Lopez. Mr. Torres, why don't you give me an update on the case?
Yes, sir, Judge. As you know, he's pending a DWLI. The offer from the state is for him to get an occupational driver's license and in exchange for dismissal. I talked to Mr. Lopez about that earlier today. He's indigent judge, so he's having to save up the money to pay for the filing fee. I'm optimistic that he can get that money here in the next few weeks, and then the turnaround on the occupational is a couple of weeks. So I hope to have this matter squared away before our next court date.
All right. July 22nd is your next court date. Hopefully it all can be resolved before then.
Yes, sir. Understood. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, sir.
Go back to Chavaria.
Thank you.
No lawyer?
No, no.
All right. Mr. Valencia. You're muted. All right, Mr. Valencia, I just handled 3 other cases. I've come back to you and your client is still not in the
Judge,
room.
Mi-
Yes,
Miss Conde is going upstairs right now. She's there in the building.
she's in the courthouse.
Yeah, she doesn't live very far from there. And since she was having a lot of trouble connecting, I just told her to go to the courthouse.
But
And
she's in the building.
she's in the building right now.
Bailiff, call her name outside.
This is the second floor, right, Judge?
The second floor. Yes, sir.
I'll answer at 2:58.
Judge, I know she's in there. I know she's in the building.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to leave you right here and on Zoom, and I'm going to go to the next case. I'm hoping
Yeah.
she walks through that door by that time, because otherwise I'm just moving forward with the bond forfeiture and we'll deal with it later. All right,
Yes, Your
Keontae
Honor.
Matlock. Matlock is not in the waiting room. And I know Mr. Stevens will not be joining us.
Oh, well, yes, the state would have responsible. I was simply just saying that, Mr. Stevens.
Yeah, I've got notes that he's out of town. I've got a couple other attorneys who are in trial, so call Matlock.
On the Conde, Your Honor, current bond is set at $500. And the conditions are. $259. The conditions are from July 26th, 2024, and.
We'll get to, let's take care of Matlock first. We'll come back to
Very
Conde.
well.
I need to, I don't even have that screen up right now.
Yes, sir.
All right, Matlock now has a $4,000 bond. Are there any conditions associated with that case? Defendant's prior bond conditions issued on 4/17 of 2024 shall remain in place. Okay. Chavarria,
You see her, I think she just stepped in.
is that you? Come on up. On the record in 24 CCR 240927, State of Texas versus Yesenia Conde Chavarria. Mr. Valencia, why don't you give me an update?
Judge, we're working to resolve this via PTI. We have already submitted the mitigation package and it has been pre-approved. We just need to complete the TRAS.
Okay, so you've been pre-approved for PTI. She's got to conduct the TRAS and then pay the fee, assuming she qualifies under the TRAS.
That is correct, Your Honor.
That's my understanding as well, Your Honor. The allowance to TRAS just came down the pipe today.
All right. Hopefully you can have the TRAS results back by the next court setting, which is on July 22nd at 2:30.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you for the update on the case. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, Judge. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Go to Spears. All right. Motion. Bailiff. New bond set at 1,500. Defendant's prior bond conditions issued on September 7th, 2024 shall remain in place. $1,500. Let's go to Woods. Your client's in the waiting room, Mr. Capetillo, but every time we try to bring her in, it just clocks. So I'm guessing she's got a really slow connection. Can you contact your client and see if she cannot go to a different location? I will come back to you.
I will ask. She said that she texted, nothing's happening. She got kicked off and she's back on.
She's got a bad connection. We didn't kick her off. So my guess is she's got a really bad connection. See if she goes someplace that's got Wi-Fi. I'm guessing she's on a cellular network right now.
I'll reach out to her, Judge.
All right. We'll come back to you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Going to page 2. Green. Let's see if you can grab a seat at this table right here and use that microphone, counselor. Thank you. We're on the record in 24 CCR 239148, State of Texas versus Alvin Ray Green II. Defense counsel, give me an update.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Green is working hard to get his tickets taken care of so he can get his license reinstated. And that's
And what will that result in?
dismissal from the state.
Okay.
Standard offer, Your Honor. If he clears up his license, and I think as well as get some insurance, then he'll get a dismissal. So
Is he going to have it done by the next setting?
He's going to be working hard towards that. I know he's got quite a few fees to pay off and he's indigent, but he's doing his best. He's been on top of it more than most of my previous DWLI clients.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anthony Wayne Newman. Rolano, you turn your camera on, please. We're on the record in 24 CCR 240231, State of Texas versus Anthony Wayne Newman. Mr. Fulano, if you'd give the court an update on this case.
Yes, Judge. We're waiting for discovery from the prosecutor, and I see on my phone that he just sent that here within the last hour or so. So I'll be reviewing that. Also, because of the type of case it is, I'm sure that there is also some video on this, which has not been released yet. So I'm going to have to get my hands on that and take a look at it. It's an assault with family violence case. And so therefore, there's going to be a number of discovery items we need to go over.
Mayor.
You may.
If Your Honor recalls, I believe Mr. Furlano was likely recently retained on this matter. So once I saw that he was now appointed, I'm sorry, to this matter. So once I saw that he's now attached, I did share the Odyssey discovery. I do have media discovery as well as the discovery log available for Mr. Furlano to come back and come up and pick up at his convenience. And there is also an offer on the file.
Okay. All right. Did you hear all that, Mr. Fulano?
I sure did, Judge. Yes, thank you.
All right. Yeah, I'll keep working towards a resolution on this case if possible. Do you have somebody who can come up and get all that for you, Mr. Fulano?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. Ralph Gonzalez can pick that up for me.
Okay, very good. All right, next court setting is July 22nd at 2:30 p.m. via Zoom. We'll see you then. Thank you for the update.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
Move to Ferguson. Other record 238871, State of Texas versus Melvin James Ferguson III. Counselor, give me an update.
All right, Ms. McElroy on April 20th about bringing mental health court. We got all his records, everything, so that's permanent. On top of that, I did speak to her again yesterday. She had informed me she was trial prepping, but now we're getting requests.
So is he being moved to mental health court then?
I'm waiting for her to pick the thumbs up or down.
Okay. All right, well, next court setting is July 22nd, but if we need to, we'll put him on a Friday, or excuse me, a Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, like I said, I did speak to her. She said she'll look at it.
Okay. Hopefully you have an answer soon. Where's she in trial?
When I spoke to her yesterday during mental health talk in the phone, she said she had been prepping for trial, but now she has free time to look at her cases. That's the only info I got.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go. Iglesias. We're on the record 24 CCR 238847, State of Texas versus Christopher Iglesias. Mr. Salinas, if you'd give the court an update.
Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution has given us an offer and we're still considering the offer. We should be ready to make a decision by next time, if not earlier.
Well, if you need a plea docket setting, feel free to contact my coordinator and she'll give you a date before your next status date on July 22nd.
Yes, Judge.
All right.
Will do.
Thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good
Thank you.
afternoon.
You do the same. Donald May. Okay. Then let's move on. We'll go to Cantrell. We're on the record 18 CCR 203114, State of Texas versus Larry Christopher Joshua Cantrell. Swart, give me an update.
My intention is that this is more of a civil matter as opposed to a criminal matter, but to have them review that, I am needing to get some financial records, some other records from businesses that my client had his, well, you have to a little bit more background on it. That's a service case, service to a motorcycle. My client disputed charges with bank, CW, claimed that he stole, fraudulently stole service from him. We're disputing that, saying this is more of a civil matter, and products that were given were not what were promised. So again, still gathering evidence and documents for the DA's to review.
Okay. Do realize this is an 18 case.
Yes, Judge. I've had this case for 67 days. So.
I understand, but it's an 18 case. Pre-trials on July 10th with trial on July 29th. I don't think you're going to get any continuances beyond that. All right. Very good. Thank you for the update. Y'all are free to go. Mondo Miranda.
Booked in on March 26th, and his next court date on 3/37 court is on May 22nd.
Bailiff, well, motion. Bailiff.
That's right, 3/14.
Thank you. New bond is set at $8,000 in each case. See, did he have any prior bond conditions? All bond conditions issued on May 5th of 23 shall remain in place. Yes. Wooten. Okay, we'll come back. Okay, let's take care of Wooten and then we'll go back to Gonzalez. Miss Wooten, you're gonna need to turn your camera on, please. Miss Wooten. All right.
Can you hear me, Judge?
The record in 22 CCR 231-081 and 085, State of Texas versus LaTorsha Washington Wooten. Mr. McClure, if you'd give the court an update.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, Judge?
I can.
Okay, great. Yeah, I've been speaking with the prosecutor on it. It looks like the treatment court option is not going to be an option. So we are basically back to square one in the negotiating. We're trying to resolve the case via plea bargain. So that's what has developed yesterday and today.
Okay, well, this is your last status conference. Next date is on June 5th for pretrial in person in my courtroom. Hopefully
Understood.
get it figured out by then.
Hopefully so, Judge.
All right, thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go.
All right, thank you, Judge.
All right, let's go to Gonzalez. We're on the record in 19 CCR 210331, State of Texas versus Roman Gonzalez. Ms. Cedillo, if you'd give the court an update.
Hi, good afternoon, Your Honor. I was in court on another matter that is pending in court number 3. And I wanted to double check. I hadn't confirmed whether or not his other case had been transferred to your court since it is an older case, Your Honor. And all we wanted to do was to combine those cases so that we could move forward. It's very likely these cases will resolve with the plea agreement.
Wait,
I wanted to.
Wait, hold on. Which case is the older case?
No, this is the older case, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. Do we have that transferred over yet, Sarah? Yeah, no, it has not been transferred.
Okay. When I was in court recently, let's see here, on 425, Your Honor, I was in court number 3 on that matter. And that's a DWI that is pending, Your Honor. That's a 2024 matter. So that's what I was told, was that the clerk would initiate that transfer. And that was fairly recently.
You've got to get the coordinator to initiate that transfer, not the clerk.
The coordinator from court 3.
Yes.
Okay, well, I spoke to court personnel, so, I stand corrected.
It's okay. It's okay. Well, here we are and it's not transferred. So contact court 3, try to get it transferred over and get it figured out. Your next court setting is July 10th for pretrial conference on this matter.
I'll do that this afternoon, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Go to Eugene. Is the attorney there? No, Eugene. That should be Wood. Harris Wood. Mr. Wood, are you there?
This is Laquita Eugene.
I'm fully aware of that. You can go and mute yourself. We're waiting on your attorney, Mr. Wood, to connect fully.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I think I'm unmuted. And
We're on the record in 24 CCR 242090, State of Texas versus Laquita Michelle Eugene. Mr. Wood, why don't you give the court an update?
Well, I don't know what you mean by that, Judge. I mean, as far as discovery, I thought that's what we were talking about, the state having complied with discovery.
Is there an issue?
No, not at all.
Okay, so the state has complied with discovery. Are y'all in the process? Have you received an offer from the state?
I don't believe so, Judge.
Okay.
An offer was conveyed prior to the discovery compliance date. And I believe it was emailed. Let me just double check that though. Yes, it was emailed on January 6th of this year. And the offer is 180 days with credit for 1 day.
Okay. Mr. Wood, I suggest maybe you give the state a call and y'all begin negotiating on this case to figure out where it's headed. Your next court setting is July 8th for another status conference at 2:30. And then pretrial on September 4th.
Thank you, Judge. I will.
You're free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
You're free to go, Miss Eugene. Con. We're on the record, 24 CCR 23910T102, excuse me. State of Texas versus Quans Ashfaq Khan. Mr. Pham, why don't you give me an update?
Your Honor, I believe the state's made an offer. We'd like to ask the court if we can get a reset for a plea, Your Honor.
Okay. How quickly do you want a plea date?
Can we do it next month next month, Your Honor?
What's the first setting, Sarah?
June 3rd at 1:30.
June 3rd at 1:30 p.m.
Yes, Your Honor, June 3rd, 1:30. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We'll see you then in person in my courtroom. Thank you. You're free to go.
Thank you,
Your Honor.
Bye-bye.
Davis,
Can I leave?
you're free to go.
Thank you.
We're on the record, 24 CCR 240063 and 240058, State of Texas versus Marvin Lee Davis Jr. Mr. Darnell, if you'd give the court an update as to this case.
Yes, Your Honor. I have reviewed all the discovery. The state has made an offer. I reached out to them earlier, asking about a PTI, so they're gonna reach out to Chief and see if that can be done on this because BAC was pretty low. And if you're already, if we can't do Safe Start, then I'll get an expedited, I'll get a PTI packet in ASAP so we can get an answer on that by the next status here.
Yes, Your Honor. Defense counsel reached out and asked if he would be eligible for Safe Start. As it stands currently, he's got the UCW that stems out of the same transaction, so that does make him ineligible. But per our guidelines, that's something that at least can be discussed with my deputy chief. So I just need to do that.
All right. They'll have a discussion with their deputy chief, hopefully get back with you and y'all can figure out where this is headed at that time. All right. Thank you, Mr.
Sounds
Darby.
good.
You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Mendoza.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. McKnight. All right, we're waiting on your client to fully connect. Miss Mendoza.
I see her on. Miss Mendoza, you need to activate your camera.
Her audio is not connected. She
It's
can't
not.
hear you.
Okay, let's see here. Judge, I know she's on her cell phone, so I can't call her, but I can send her a message maybe in the chat. Let's see. See, I'm not sure. Let's try this again. Judge, I just sent her a message on here. Hmm.
Tell you what, we're gonna hang tight. I'm gonna leave you here. Oh, your client just disconnected. Why don't you go ahead and mute yourself, give your client a call and see if you can help her through the process. We're gonna move on to the next case.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Don't forget about me, please.
No, we're not.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
We'll move on to the last case, Hernandez. Are you Juan Jose Hernandez? All right, right there. We're on the record in 24 CCR 240766, State of Texas versus Juan Jose Hernandez Jr. We're here on a motion to withdraw as counsel. Your client is here in the courtroom, Mr. Ducote. Anything you'd like to argue as to your motion?
Judge, the motion speaks for itself. Without getting into the details, I've had communications with Mr. Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez has had some communications with the staff here at my office, and the nature and tone of the communications prohibit the existence of an effective attorney-client relationship. So for those reasons, we're asking that the court allow us to withdraw from this matter.
Any objection to the motion to withdraw? Are you opposed to the motion to withdraw? I don't care about the allegations else. Are you? Do you want it? Do you want him as your attorney or no? Okay.
10 months, sir.
Okay, I get that, Mr. I get Mr. Hernandez, but he's filing a motion withdrawal. I have an option to either grant it or not grant it. I'm just asking, are you opposed to it or are you in agreement with it? Okay, why?
This is the first time we seen him. Last time I came to court, sir, he had sent a couple of his workers to come here, and we're done. I never spoke to nobody. It's just a reset. We're waiting on paperwork, waiting on this gentleman right here to give us a it's called a, how could I say, give me an offer. No offers. We're going on 10 months already, sir, on some misdemeanor cases. I didn't work it. I got monitored for 10 months already, sir. I've been doing everything I've been doing for the past 10 months, pre-trial. That's basically probation, sir. You see what I'm saying, sir? And I just.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, every one of these cases take anywhere from 9 to 15 months to come to a conclusion. So your time frame is not excessive by any means. In fact, every case said from arraignment date to trial takes anywhere from 9 to 12 months and sometimes longer depending on the circumstances. So your time frames are not excessive by any means. All right.
I apologize, Judge. I couldn't hear anything that Mr. Hernandez said.
Okay, well, I wish I had the ability to give him.
Understood.
Are we going to get that podium set up or what? Have we sent that to them to order? Okay, find out where it's at. All right, I'm granting the motion to withdraw.
I think we've already proposed an order for the court's signature, Your Honor. If not, then I'll make sure it gets e-filed by the end of business day today.
There's one filed.
Yes, sir. And then whomever Mr. Hernandez gets appointed in my place, I'll make sure that we send a complete copy of the digital file immediately.
Okay.
All right. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
I appreciate it.
Mr. Hernandez, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you upstairs to the Indigent Defense Office for new counsel. Or actually, just call them. Give me the next 3 names on the list.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You may.
How could I get this monitor off this late, sir?
Okay. You and your new attorney who's going to be appointed today, okay, can have that conversation and a motion can be filed with the hearing held.
That's what he tried to do for the past 3 months, and then it was never happened. It was never done. So I don't understand that.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to have that conversation with you here. Just have a seat, Mr. Hernandez. Just have a seat, Mr. Hernandez. Just have a seat.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Whitney Moore is appointed to represent him. Why don't you go ahead and give me the contact information for Mr. Hernandez? Mr. Hernandez, my coordinator is going to give you a sheet of paper that gives your attorney's name and contact information. Once you have that, you are free to go. You can give her a call. Her name is Whitney Moore. Egbuna. Mr. Egbuna, your attorney is in trial in Harris County. He is not going to be able to attend today. Thus, I'm passing your hearing. Your next court date is pre-trial is on July 10th at 9 a.m. It's an in-person docket, so we'll see you in here. You're free to go. Okay, let's move on to Johnson. Ms. McKnight, have you had a chance to talk to your client and get her connected?
Yeah, she said that she was logging back in, but her audio wasn't connecting.
Okay, well, let me take care of Mr. Johnson. We'll take your case next.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Johnson, can you hear me? You'll need to unmute yourself to respond to me.
Yes, sir. You hear me?
I can hear you now. All right, your attorney is in trial in Harris County, thus he will not be present for this hearing. So
Yes,
what
sir.
I'm doing is I'm passing your hearing, and you're going to need to be present at your next court setting on July 8th.
Yes, sir.
3 p.m. It's another status conference via Zoom.
You said at 3 p.m.?
2:30 p.m.
Oh, 2:30 p.m. Same time today.
Same time as today on
Yes, sir.
July 8th.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're free to go.
Okay.
Go back to Mendoza. Okay. Ms. McKnight, I think she is fully connected now. We're on the record in 24 CCR 238-918-919 and 920. State of Texas versus Leanna Maria Mendoza. Ms. McKnight, why don't you give me an update on these cases? You're muted, Ms. McKnight.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Your Honor, the majority of the discovery on this case is in, from my understanding, what the state has available has been disclosed. There is some discrepancy about the correct restitution amount. Perhaps if there, in my opinion, there's missing evidence on restitution, the state may disagree. I understand that Mr. Miller and Evan have gotten together to staff this case and that they're planning to try to subpoena additional information on the restitution. That was as our conversation or per our conversation today. So if that is correct, Your Honor, that would be the only missing piece is what the true restitution is.
Okay. Well, it sounds like y'all are getting close to trying to figure this case out and which direction it's headed. Ms. McKnight, what I'm going to do, well, anything else?
Nothing further on my end as far as anticipating that there's,
Say something, Ms. McKnight, so we're going to let them pipe in. Mr. Benson, you
Okay.
want to say something?
I guess I do. All the discoveries provided, not the majority of it. That's important clarification to me. The second one is that there is no discrepancy with the restitution payment, it's just a disagreement about it. The victim did not save the receipts from July of 2024 from the car wreck, from February 2nd, 2023, but in July 2024, when he actually received the Mako auto repair statements. He saved that information in a bank account statement. I sent it over to the defense counsel. So there's just a discrepancy over if that's the true cost of repairs. The state believes it does, but the state's not withholding any sort of evidence or it's not doing its full diligence to determine that. The state believes, and Mr. Miller believes too, that
Sorry, slow down. The state believes?
the state believes, and Mr. Miller, my chief, believes that the bank account statements fully and accurately depict the restitution charges. So there's no issue there. But Ms. McKnight did dispute that, so the state will either first of all try to subpoena Mako to get the auto repair statements, and then if not, Ms. McKnight has offered the proposition of having a restitution hearing over the matter as well. So.
Okay. Did you hear all that, Ms. McKnight?
Your Honor, and that is somewhat accurate. I proposed 3 solutions to the state in regard to this restitution issue. One being we can agree on an amount that we both believe is fair and just. 2, we can set it for trial in which the understanding would be that this may be a trial based on restitution, or 3, alternatively, we can have a restitution hearing. So I'm hopeful that it can get resolved, but again, if it cannot, there are plenty of legal remedies when the parties do not agree to what restitution is appropriate.
All right, well, I'll let y'all discuss that further before we make a decision on that today. You've got another status conference on July 8th, so y'all have got plenty of time to try to figure this out.
Yes,
And-
Your Honor. And I'm hopeful that it can be figured out. Knock on wood.
Well, I hope so too. All right, thank you, Ms. McKnight. I'm glad we could get your client connected. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too. Let's go to May. Mr. May. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, your attorney is in trial and will not be present for this hearing. Thus, I am passing the hearing. Your next court setting is on July 22nd at 2:30 p.m. You are expected to be there. It's via Zoom.
I'm sorry, sir. It's hard to hear you.
Okay, let me repeat that. So, Mr. May, your attorney, Mr. Martinez, is in trial. He will not be present today.
Yes, sir.
I am passing your hearing. Your next court setting is on July 22nd at 2:30 p.m. It is via Zoom. You are expected to be present on that date and time.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You are free to go.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Let's go back to Mr. Captillo. Mr. Captillo, you've had a long afternoon.
I'm getting stuff done, Judge. I'm at my desk getting stuff done at least.
Okay. Okay. I see your background has changed. You no longer have your, well, I won't get into it in the background. All right. We're on the record in 24 CCR 237435, State of Texas versus Cheryl Woods. Mr. Captillo, give me the update.
Judge, we're set to do a TRAS and a in-court entrance May 29th. She's got a pending felony out of the same transaction. So once she starts that, I believe the state will wrap up the case in your court.
So she's going into in-court?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's going to happen with this case?
Just a standard offer, Your Honor. Forfeiture weapon classes and dismissal. And that offer was sent on December 6th.
Okay. All right. I guess you got all that, Mr. Captillo? You heard that?
I heard dismissed, Judge. That's all I need.
Okay. Okay. All right, Mr. Captillo. I'm glad your client could connect, I guess, at Walmart. So you and your client are free to go. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it. You can sign off, Ms. Woods.
Who are we missing? Okay.